What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is May 3rd of 2019. Well, folks, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you are. And today we've got a good range of topics to discuss for cryptocurrency markets, but predominantly we're going to be focusing in on the really positive price action we've had over the last 24 hours, and in fact has set new highs for the year of 2019. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into all this information. First off, taking a look at markets, we can see that cryptocurrencies abroad are in the green, with most cryptocurrencies actually getting outweighed by Bitcoin still. Bitcoin is still gaining substantial dominance in this market. And even with that, we still have a few altcoins in the red here. So taking a look at the market overview, we'll focus in on the TA here in just a minute. Taking a look at the past 30 days. Looks like we might be potentially breaking out to all-time highs this year as well for market capitalization as well. It looks like we have. So we're about $4 billion above here, around the $183 billion mark. I'm mostly focusing in on Bitcoin over the last few hours, but it is good to see that the overall market is still carrying as well. It might not be carrying its weight comparative to Bitcoin, but I think, again, as we've seen, when new liquidity is entering into the crypto space, it's actually a really good sign for a bottoming market, is to see Bitcoin dominating, because what's the major first point of entry for liquidity? It's Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is on any major fiat exchange. If there's going to be a fiat gateway, Bitcoin will be there. So it's usually a sign that we do have some liquidity entering into the market, whether it's more institutional exchanges or retail. I would assume it's small scale institutions in this case, people who would be buying on OTC but can't get their orders filled. Okay. So again, this is the kind of FOMO you can even get from institutions in some cases, and it can lead markets to start getting some active volume and getting buyers on the retail side coming in as well. So right now we're sitting at around 55% market dominance, again breaking out to a higher level that we haven't seen all the way since back here in December, interestingly enough. And we've seen this with positive price action coming into Bitcoin and altcoins. Again, to be fair, I've got a few altcoin positions right now. I'm definitely at the point where I don't want to flip them over to Bitcoin and be like, okay, I've got to catch on to the trend, because I think the trend is a bit at play for pretty much the past whole month. And we're getting close to levels where I would feel we'd get a little bit of a reversal here, like we saw in September, or here, for example, in December. But again, has definitely blown me away with what Bitcoin's been able to do. I give it huge props in that case. And I think we should have probably thought through, even though as Bitcoin dominance was getting close to 50%. I think I was wrong in that sense. As I always like to admit, if I'm right or wrong on something. I think I was wrong in assuming that with the bottom of that mark, we'd have altcoins rebounding stronger. Again, going back to that point, we need that liquidity entry. All right, so enough rambling on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly here. So we can see both on the hourly and the daily, we're up towards the line of resistance here. This is where we're going to start to probably expect a potential correction in the short term. But this is really nice, guys. This happened much faster than I thought it would. I thought we were going to be moving more at this pace, for example, as we were setting with the this uptrend here. And we just happened to break away within a matter of a few hours all the way up here to the upside. So I was expecting something towards the end of the week in May here for the first week. But nonetheless, Bitcoin's been showing some pretty strong resilience. And with this kind of momentum, I'm very curious in this case. I'll just take it here to the price chart, and we'll take a look at the indicators in a minute. I was very curious if this would continue through and try to test 6,000. Well, interestingly enough, again, I don't give legitimacy to this guy, so don't take it as me saying that we've hit 6,000. But the Bitfinex pair has gone to 6,000. So this is definitely very interesting. It's just weird to see Bitcoin back up in this range. Very happy to see that. But again, I don't think this is considered as Bitcoin hitting 6,000. We can dream about it right now, but maybe in the next few days we will. Maybe even in the next few hours, who knows? We might be able to get a test on 6,000. That would be really cool to see if that's coming right away. But I honestly would like to see this test, a few more times through the channel and really come up smoothly within it and tapping 6,000. But that's going to be sometime in late May, so maybe we might actually have a breach on this line of resistance, hit that big even, and face some rejection there. Again, we're not that far away. It literally looks like it's about like a day or two away in this case in terms of price action. So we've gotten back up above what could potentially be resistance here at around the 55 to 5,600 range. There's no range of resistance here that's really critical for Bitcoin until we really get to 6,000. So again, my expectations aren't any different, guys. It doesn't matter if we go up to 6,000 here in the next day or two, or if we channel back downward to this line of support, hold it, and go back up. I feel we're still going to face resistance at 6,000. There's a lot of buy side pressure in this market, but I can tell you, I have a feeling that a lot of this is like institutional FOMO because they're not getting their OTC orders filled at these levels. Because of that, it could lead to price action dropping quite substantially in this case if the market isn't fully ready for the next uptrend, right? So I think there still needs to be a little bit more fundamental development for us to get too eager. But if we do get that breakout above 6,000 and we make support on it, if we can turn now resistance into yet again support, that's going to be a sign for a further uptrend in this case. It would be very quick of a bottoming, but man, I gotta tell you, there's an opportunity for anything. Crypto just doesn't make sense sometimes. So again, my game plan still is that I'm waiting for that resistance at 6,000. I'm getting to that range, especially now that we're very close to 5,800, where I'm thinking about locking in short-term profits. But again, haven't sold anything yet in regards to my trading or investment portfolio, anything like that. I haven't really made any adjustments in the past week or so. Anyways, that's basically it, guys. Good to see Bitcoin up as much as it is. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few other cryptocurrencies. Ethereum holding right at the top of the ascending triangle here. Again, I have a short feeling that this is going to come back down to 137 again in this range, setting up a higher low. Actually, I apologize. My chart's not accurate on there. There we go. It's actually a little bit tighter. I don't know why that was adjusted weird. There's so many different exchanges. I probably have the right chart on another exchange. So I would expect it to come down here to 150. Nice big even there. Not to mention this is where it was hitting resistance previously, and for it to break out from there. But who knows? It might close up here today and test up back to the highs around 180. That would be good to see. I'd like to see that if Bitcoin's going to continue climbing to 6,000. It's got to at least keep up with Bitcoin. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here at XRP. This will be our final one we take a look at. XRP. As much as it's good to see it's up 2 cents, this is quite pitiful to see the momentum play. This is why, honestly, I don't think we're in the full swing bull market just yet, right? We should be seeing these guys moving a little bit more, and I think that's when the liquidity is entered in, when we've gotten that new capital really starting to circulate around. I think it's just people stacking up on Bitcoin at this moment. So, again, we'd like to see some of these momentum plays move, but again, we got to be patient, guys. When Bitcoin gets up to that dominance level we talked about, around the 58% range. We're not too far away from it. The one we saw back here, I'll go to it, back here during the peak in September is around 57%. My apologies. I think that's when we can start to expect that some of that capital will flow into altcoins. But we'll have to be patient. We'll have to wait for it. Wait for the momentum to come in, for the trend to set, and then we'll ride the wave in that case for the longer-term trend. Now, I want to go back here to Bitcoin because there are some indicators that I want to talk about, seeing as we're focusing mainly on price today, and then we'll jump into the news. I know some people had mentioned that, for example, there was a few things we talked about, and there's a lot of people out there. Again, I keep joking on it. I keep pointing out TradingView. I just always see it because I go on TradingView, but I see all these people on crypto Twitter, on TradingView. We know what's going to happen to Bitcoin in the next 24 hours, right? So many people are calling for a head and shoulders, and I'll show you what I mean, like on the 4 hour. Basically, we're talking about how you have the shoulder here, the head here, shoulder, and then it was going to go down, right? Well, it did the complete opposite. Oh, sorry. Actually, I'd say they probably were saying this was the shoulder and it was going to break down. But guys, let me tell you something. There's a lot of indicators that would have told you, yes, to sell the market, right? To the price is going to go down and everything, right? The RSI, for example, if you take it outside of today's candle, you're still close to being overbought. And the biggest thing that people are talking about is NVT, right? NVT has been in the red zone for a while. Well, take a look at the 2 previous times that NVT was here. Unless you're going straight parabolic like in December, you're probably going to be holding up here for a while. And how has it been able to hold here yet still make really substantially higher levels and not move too high in NVT? Well, you've got more network traffic on Bitcoin. You're processing around 1 to 2.5 to 3 billion back then, and now we're processing anywhere from 3 to 6 million on a daily basis on Bitcoin, right? So again, you're getting some different fluctuations on the value that's being transferred over Bitcoin's network, and that will give you some room to move up in price in regards to the NVT indicator, because those are the 2 things it really cares about. It cares about the price of the value of the network, and then also how much transactional volume or economic value is it providing in the sense of a network of transferring. So again, I think we're going to not really get stopped until we get somewhere up here, probably around 170, 180. probably testing up to some of the highs we've seen previously in other cycles. All right, so that's enough in regards to talking about it. Again, just want to open up your guys' minds to understanding how to read these indicators and understanding how they operate. Volume is nice today. We're still in the shorter part of the day, which is the best part about it. But I'd like to see this break out past previous volume and get close, not close to these candles. I don't think we're going to get anywhere substantially close to this, the kind of institutional trading that we saw over here, unless we tap towards 6,000. But I'd at least like to see it be the highest volume day since back on April 3rd. That would be really good to see. All right, I've rambled on enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk about the news, guys. So the CME Group has seen a net loss for this quarter on its Bitcoin futures, however, has processed the third largest month of revenue for Bitcoin futures. Interestingly enough, more than December and January. Well, not more than December and January, but basically right behind December and January. So the biggest trading month we've seen practically over the past year. Really good to see, honestly. It's really nice stuff to see. Now the thing I wanted to mention here, they had mentioned that they faced a loss in this. Sometimes financial companies can incur losses, no matter if it's futures contracts or they're an ETF provider, things of that sort. There's various reasons for it. But them losing money is not a negative sign. We could go into the depths and details of it. Them losing money on these futures is not really a bad sign, guys. Not to mention, some companies, their stocks will actually perform quite well. I mean, you can take a look at tech companies. So long as they're doing something innovative or doing something that might turn a profit in the future, they're going to keep around that product even if they incur a little bit of a loss. So this isn't a worry for the CME delisting them or anything like that, or removing the Bitcoin futures. This shows you that there's a market for it. There's a demand for it. All they have to do is adjust their business model and how they operate things, right? So again, very exciting stuff to see that there's actual, some institutional interest going on. We can take a look at the Bitcoin futures contracts real quick. Let's see if we can get Bitcoin futures. Let's pull it up here. We'll take a look at the CME contracts. And again, you see the volume coming in. Really impressive stuff. We'll take it here to a weekly basis to maybe consolidate a little bit more. Look at that. Here in April, we had a great month of volume coming in. Actually, that was the biggest week we've seen in futures contracts for the CME. Now, we did have the CBOE who had contracts as well, but again, they'd removed them some time ago. So the CME in this case is the major contract of choice. So I guess some of that liquidity did flow into it, to be fair, but still really exciting stuff to see. This kind of trading is going on. So good news on that end. Now, another piece of positive news going on in the crypto space. Again, I know some people don't like it. Some people, take the positives out of it. I'm quite neutral on it, and that is the Facebook stablecoin. I think more than anything, it's just going to bring interest and discussion to this space, and almost a sense of respect and maturity to a lot of people who are just very cynical of this space. And that is the Facebook coin that's coming out, the stable coin that they're basically building within Facebook that you can be able to use for payments, things of that sort, and it'll be basically pegged to the dollar. Now, again, do you guys ever think I'm going to be using a Facebook coin? No, I honestly will not be using a Facebook coin. I already use enough centralized payment networks when I have to go shopping and do things on a day-to-day basis, and I'm trying to move away from that as much as possible, or at least where I can use crypto. But the fact of the matter is, this is exciting news, and it does tell us that there is some, at least some interest still in the cryptocurrency space, as much as this is kind of I would say it's it's taking a good and bad thing. The good thing is that we do need some stable form of value in the crypto space. Volatility is a big issue for people who actually want to use crypto as payments. Let's not be ignorant, guys. You can't, you can go about spending Bitcoin, but you need people like BitPay in the middle, all right? And a lot of us don't want to work with third parties. Not to mention we don't want to pay the processing fees, right? So that's where stable coins can come in. And I really recommend, if you guys haven't seen it, to watch my stablecoin video. I think it really nails home a lot of the good points and the different types of stablecoins. That being said, though, I don't like Facebook's version of the stablecoin. I don't want Facebook having all of my transaction history. I don't want Facebook being able to freeze my transactions like a bank, because that's really what they're becoming at the end of the day. It's basically a payment processor / bank if you're storing your money through Facebook and transferring it through there. Putting that aside, though, again, the positive factor that comes out of this, guys, is it gets people talking. It gets people using, especially in the West, it gets people using QR codes, using their mobile phones for payments. That's what we need to see. And I think people have started to get comfortable with that. But I think pushing it forward with a cryptocurrency is going to get people a little bit more comfortable with actually using other cryptocurrencies. And who knows, maybe even Facebook might get into the exchange business. Maybe they actually get into a service where after you plugged in your dollars, it's like, hey, would you like to buy Bitcoin? Would you like to buy Litecoin? All these other cryptocurrencies. And they might do what Robinhood or all these other platforms have started to do and maybe try to compete with Coinbase. But there's a business for it. There's revenue there. And what they're claiming here is that there's about a $1 billion that they're looking to raise for this Facebook coin, right? Now, I don't know if that billion is going directly into backing a billion coins that they want to generate. I would assume they're probably going to want to generate more in the long term. But I'll definitely tell you, I bet in this case that they're going to be using it for building a variety of applications around it. They actually have been talking about building basically a whole like in-house kind of like area or kind of incubator area of Facebook to work around the Facebook stablecoin. So we'll go ahead and read through some of the quotes here. Again, this is dubbed the Facebook or FB coin. It has fueled rumors around a year ago. We've been hearing about this for a while ago to use as payments for users. As more information trickles down to the outside, it appears various options are under consideration by executives, including payments via a user's Facebook profile. Again, you'd probably use it through Messenger, or basically if I'd see a friend, I can send them money. Maybe even the business account on a Facebook page. That would be very interesting. Facebook is also talking to e-commerce companies and apps about accepting the coin and would seek smaller financial investments from those partners, one of the people said. So if they could basically, this is the big, I think, goal here of what Facebook's trying to do, and I will say they've got a good chance at doing something that I actually kind of fear, and that is making it extremely convenient to use Facebook coin. What do I mean by that? They basically would have two benefits, one for consumers, one for businesses. One for consumers, it's right in the app. It's very convenient to use. You input money, you output money when you spend it. The thing that they're looking for in that sense from investments from other partners is that if they're going to these huge retail giants and saying, hey, if you accept Facebook coin, you basically be able to receive dollars, but for much less fees than what probably, MasterCard and Visa charge. They're going to try to get in there. They're going to try to compete because they know there's a market for it. So that would be very interesting to see. I don't know. We'll have to see what Facebook's got planned. They haven't mentioned everything. And I will tell you, they're going to have to really do a good job on this because Facebook's getting right back up to its highs back from June of 2018. They got to have something to break through and lead the market to new highs, or at least its own stock. So we'll have to see. Do you guys think Facebook coin can do it? I bet you're like me, guys. I'm going to read it before you even guys say anything in the comments. I hope you guys haven't typed anything in the comments, because in that case, I have no doubt that you guys will not be using a Facebook coin. You guys know the power of cryptocurrencies. And if you're going to be using a stable coin, you'll probably use something like True USD, or you're going to be using something like DAI. That's a collateralized stable coin with your crypto and Ethereum and things like that. That's at least what I would use. But would love to know what you guys would want to use and what you all think about this news. What do you think about the market going on at the moment? Definitely want to get some comments down below in the comments down below under the video. But I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll probably be doing some videos over the weekend. But outside of that, guys, as I mentioned, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.